All right, family, peace, love, and law. Y'all can hear me loud and clear up in here.
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty. Making sure y'all loud and clear. Welcome to In God We Trust Academy podcast and work session Q&A for season 6. And first and foremost, man, I just want to say thankful to everyone that has participated in season 6 this year. And just work sessions, all in all, we've done literally 6 seasons. And those 6 seasons has been able to uplift families and things of that nature. So today is going to be like a Q&A, a reflection day. So those of you that are in here or want to give what you learned during your time being here, your success, or just any questions as well as it's all going to be done today, just throughout work sessions. And like I said, I don't really know if we're going to do a season 7 or not, but we definitely going to keep doing what we're doing. We're just going to kind of do things a little bit different, but at the same time, keeping everything flowing, keeping the information, the classes, and being able to teach still going there. So Mondays and Wednesdays will still be something of that nature, but for the most part, I don't know if we're going to continue doing it the exact same way. So we'll probably we're gonna take like a maybe a 2 week break on that until I figure out exactly how I want to do it, and we'll see if a season 7 comes back. And not saying that it won't, but it just got to be things got to go a little different now for sure. Um, but other than that, though, man, it's been a beautiful journey for myself. A lot of things that I've learned. I actually went back and listened to a few things from season 1 and just seeing how far we have changed the way, not really necessarily saying, I said we changed the process or procedure of how we do things, but not the information. The information has pretty much been bag tight on everything that we've done and just building a foundation on top of that as well. But yeah, it's definitely been nothing more than truly a blessing to be here and do what we do. So I give thanks for that and give thanks for the Almighty just for allowing it to happen the way it did happen for us. Like I say, just hearing that people lives change and things like that is what has definitely brought us all the way up to keep pushing to do all the way up to season 6. So if we could just continue to do more, which we will, let God be with us to keep pushing forward. But other than that, though, y'all doing all right in here today?
All is well. All is well. Glad to be
Amen
here.
on that. Yes.
Yes, sir.
How about yourself?
And I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Just reorganizing, restructuring, redoing a lot myself. A lot is literally changing around my way since the beginning of the year, since my newborn child, and just the passing of my grandmother, and a lot of other things that has taken place that is reshaping and changing my world. So I have to be able to flow with it and find other ways and avenues to do the things that I want to do and still be able to have the time that I need to have with family, etc. Right? It's just, a balanced thing that takes place. So, but always necessary, yo. Always necessary to do. But like I say, y'all never know. We don't know what we're gonna do. I just gotta wrap my mind around season 7 right quick and just where I want to go with it and what I want to do. I was thinking about just like start doing courses instead of, random things throughout the season, help, da 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 da. I think we're gonna do like courses. Well, I have a book I've been working on. I showed some of you guys. It's a criminal law handbook. Right now, I probably got about 400 plus pages. So it's a lot. I've been doing it for about 2 months now, and just putting that together, and at the ins and out, every little thing that goes on within a court, why, how to do certain things, what to look for, just a lot of information packed tight into it, and I just want to be able to, man. I think that'll probably be our first course that we run through, just to give people the full opportunity to learn everything about a court setting, what to expect, what to do, what not to do, what to do if you are hiring a lawyer, etc. So just to add all of that in there is definitely going to be how we're going to do that. All right. But with that being said, let's get started. Yeah, let's get started. Let's get started in here, as they would say. I'll hit this record button and get us on. All right, guys, welcome to In God We Trust Academy Work Session Season 6. And this is the Q&A for Season 6. But as I said earlier, man, thankful to all of you that has participated and made this possible, and give thanks to God just for allowing this opportunity and the space that was created to do this, and just to continue to go forward in everything that we are doing. It's definitely been a powerful setting here, and just watching a lot of people's lives change in this. So I'm thankful and grateful for that. But everything that you guys hear from this point forward is for educational, religious purposes only. So anybody seeking any form of legal advice, please do seek a legal advisor. All right. All right. So let's talk about it, family. Anybody got a question, statements, whatever you want to talk about? You can even have a suggestion for season 7. I wouldn't mind. So just to start off with myself, though, I do know even here lately in my studies, like, I went back and listened to the Law Merchant season of what we did, and then just learning how to take that and applying it with the information and the processes that we are doing now, and just literally knowing how to move according to the procedures of the court and still being able to pull our remedy that we want to pull, right? And still moving forward. So I think that, for me, from season 1 to season 6, it was just literally just taking all this information and applying it and making it do what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? And not running just because we got to know, not running just because we felt like, they don't listen, they ignoring this or whatever the case may be. And I'm also glad that, the things that happen with me too, because a lot of people that teach and a lot of people that get in here and, y'all feel like we can't be touched. Y'all feel like just because we got all of this stuff that they ain't going to arrest us or they not going to try us or something like that. That's not what that means. And anybody that tells you that, they just flat out lying. Like, I don't care who the individual is, the guru is, as we say. We'll talk about Title 4D. I don't care about what group, organization, whatever. The reason why we doing this in the first place is because our rights have been trampled on in the first place, right? So don't let nobody make you think that just because these people sit in here and teach these classes, like, things don't happen with us. And I'm glad you guys got to see that with me at firsthand, to see how everything really goes and how I would deal with the situation. And just for you to know that the exact way I dealt with the situation is the exact way I teach you how to deal with the situation. And we came out on top on that for sure. And I made sure you guys was with me the whole entire time while it happened. So you don't think that I'm just giving you information that I'm not going to do or I'm not going to apply. Nah, I don't move like that. I'm always the one to say, hey, I'll go first just to show you. Yeah, let me show you what I'm saying. So, thankful for being able to be a vessel in that, and just God giving me the opportunity to show you guys as well. And that, I think that every, whether you want to say guru, teachers, or whatever, master teachers, everybody got to get tested, no matter what. Everybody got to be tested on this journey based upon the information that they willing to present. And that's real. So that's one of my things that I would say I took from season from 1 through 6, and just the application of it though. So, but let's get some hands up, man. Let's hear from y'all. Somebody said they want to talk about Title 4D, so we'll keep that in mind. What's up, Ricardo?
Hey, what's up, man? Just want to say thank you, bless you. I want to see if there's a way that I can purchase the old seasons because I got here late. And I want to see if there's something I can do with you where I could grab the old ones if it's something.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
I'll definitely do that. I'll make sure we get all the seasons up at once. I don't know. I'll probably run it at a good price. Well, probably. I know I will. And that way, whether you want season 1 through 6 or you already got 6, you want 1 through 5, whatever the case may be, we'll make that happen. So we'll do that real soon. So anybody else that's interested. And here's the thing. Season 1, that's about 40-something videos. Season 2, about 40. Really, season 1 was really more than that. Because like I said, we was doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we was on it. Only time we took off was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday, we back in here 4 days straight, 2 hours apiece. So we looking at about
sometimes 3 or 4.
Yeah, sometimes 3 or 4 hours. So we looking at. I know for sure. I know for sure from season 1 to 6, we got a good 10,000 hours in. No joke. Like no joke. I can't even think about how many documents. I'm sure it's over hundreds of documents. I'm gonna say that hundreds. At least 500 to 600 worth of documents with information templates and all these different things that we have done. It's up there for sure. So even season 3, season 4, it's just like I said, it's a lot of hours because sometimes we even went 4 months, 5 months sometimes. I think the longest one was like season 1. Season 1 was almost like 5 months, and we had to cut it down. So we left out, I think, October, November. I think because we started at December, the end of December, with those classes. But we had also did September, October, November as well. So there's 3 months of it that's not even on there, and it's really because it was too hard to go through it and pick it out, But at the same time, it's a lot of information though. So yeah, we'll definitely make that happen, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate you, yo.
All right. You got any questions? You got anything you want to say today?
No. That was it, really. I got one credit card that shut me down. And I started making a lawsuit for it, but I wasn't too sure like how to go about if it's a corporation, how I serve them type of thing. If it's a credit card company.
You can serve the head. Notice the principal is notice the agent. Notice the agent is notice the principal. As long as you serve.
CFO type of thing? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you can serve the main guy.
Got it. All right. Sounds good.
Absolutely. Farmer Dave, what's up, bro?
Peace. So, man, I was on one of your lives and you were talking about the land patent. So I know that was something I wanted to touch basis on, but now I've funded the trust. Now pretty much it was just about, I guess, issuing a formal record, you know what I'm saying, to everybody, just putting everybody on notice, you know what I'm saying, about the interest from the trust now, and just pretty much what would be the best route going about that.
You said for the land?
So I funded the trust now with everything, man. I put pretty much everything into the trust. And now I just pretty much want to put everybody on notice, I guess you could say, about the trust being the SPC.
What is it that you want to make people notice? Like for what particular property are you speaking on?
Oh, so well, with the property, I have the land for my mortgage. I bought, but I also have pretty much just everything that's tied to the all caps, I guess you could say. just that entity as a whole and all interest belonging to it.
Right. So basically, you're saying the source data, et cetera, all placed in there. So now it's really like once you do that, it's just like I was speaking earlier about trust. Like it's up to you just to start performing and fulfilling the obligations of the trust.
Acting on it.
Yeah. If you want to go through, you want to change titles on accounts and stuff like that, you can. But remember, the trustee can act and place things within his name for the trust. So you don't really have to change anything if you don't want to, but totally up to you. When it comes to other things, like I say, you can always make reference to these particular companies using trust property as well. So, and exercising that, you also say you got a UCC. So I'm assuming you got a security agreement too, right?
So I sent that out. Now I know what a lot of this is pretty much about your intention and what you put out. Now, even though I'm waiting on them to respond back on that, can I go ahead and act on that since I've already put that in motion, or how would that work?
Can you not say that one more time?
Okay, so pretty much I sent the UCC out on the 23rd of June,
When you
pretty
say
much
you
saying
sent it out,
that
you sent it out where?
uh uh to the IRS, to their UCC division here at the Secretary of State in Kentucky.
So you what you're saying, you did it to have it filed in the public, correct?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, just
Okay.
kind of letting you know what I was doing.
Well, I'm saying like, cause like, where you at?
I'm
Which
in Kentucky.
Kentucky. So I don't know what their UCC look like. I know it's different places do different things. I know in certain places they'll let you upload documents. Certain places they don't want to know nothing but everything that goes on the UCC one. You put what's in collateral, etc., and that's
Gotcha.
all they want. So they don't
I
want all
think
the extra stuff, filings. I know here in Alabama we can upload documentations and stuff like that. So it just depends, but for the most part, if you can do it online, some allow you to, some don't. But if you can do it online, then just do it online, and they'll have it filed up and let you know whether they accept it or not.
okay, too easy, too easy. For the most part, I think I'm good there. I just know you were referencing getting land patent if you just because pretty much it's abandoned now. So if you just go claim it,
Well, land patents is like this. The land patents have already been given out. The land patent numbers,
correct.
it already exists. Only thing that was supposed to happen from that point forward was the transferal of the chain of title. So if that chain of title has not been brought forward, it's like you abandon it. So, or not saying you, but it has been abandoned. So now it's just up for you to go and find. Now, how you find it, some people can go to the Bureau of Land Management. Most of depends on what part of the what part of the states that you're in. But other than that, you're gonna probably on the East Coast. I know most of them have to go into their courts, into the probate or office wherever their book of deeds and stuff like that is at. And then you just have to research all the way as far as you can that deals with that specific land too. And then you'll start running into patents because the only thing you're running into right now is like you'll first run into a few color titles, such and such, because a lot of land patents wasn't given until like the 1800s, and then some parts of the land was never sectioned or patent off because it still was waiting on somebody to come. Like I showed you with the one with the Muscle Shoals land grant with the state of Alabama, right? It was so many on there that it was never specifically given to a individual, people, or family. So it still was in the care of the state until someone comes and move that forward. So you can do it that way too. You get what I'm
Okay,
saying?
too easy, too easy. Nah, yeah, I'm following, I'm following. So I just have to
Okay.
kind of start checking that out. But I
Right.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. So again, it just depends. Like I say, where you at. Kentucky, I don't know. They might have Kentucky and the BLM, but I know a lot of stuff on the East Coast. It's not, and they have to go through their recorder's office to find those particular things and just hey, do the research on your land. See who had it before you and before them, till you get all the way to where the state had to issue out a form of a patent. And that's where you find the chain of title. And that's usually going back to the 1800s. You might find something in the 1900s every now and then, but for the most part, most patents was left in the 1800s. for sure. Majority, I would say over 90% of it was. So that literally means everybody's operating off color of titles. Absolutely. Anybody else? Anybody else got a question? All right. Somebody
The
said
lamp,
something about
the lamp,
go ahead.
my bad. The land patents, they started that in the 1800s, right? Before that, it wasn't even on there, right? Like they didn't even have that.
I mean, they've been patenting a minute. They've been doing Latin patents a minute since they came up with the structure, the system of it, and things like that for sure.
Okay.
But that's when they were mainly issued in the 1800s. Yes.
Got it.
Dr. Felt, what's up?
Hey, thank you so much. And first, I just want to again offer our condolences to you and your family in the passing of your grandmom. And even though we didn't know her, we definitely know you, and the fruit does not fall far from the tree. So she had to have been absolutely incredible. I know she was proud of you. You're like a Moses to us all. You have led us out of oppression, and I mean, it's crazy how we we can live our lives and never know all this stuff, this deceit and fraud is going on, and they call evil good
Right.
and good evil. Is crazy.
Thank
But
you.
anyhow, yes, absolutely. So when I remember back at some point you were showing online where you had a tax notice for, like, I guess, was it frivolous taxes or something for like 5,000, and you were able to discharge it, and you were going to show how to do that. Um, I think I got that class for you. I'm not sure, but would you use the same process with the state taxes if they just simply said you didn't file the taxes and with them, but you filed it with the feds, and so you have so many days to do your own taxes, or they're going to figure out for you? And is there a way to discharge that with the similar process, both of them kind of the
I
same
mean, like
way?
for me though, it's like this now. Like I done it that way, but now for the most part, like I do it in a sense to where, like I say, everything is being moved and transferred to the trust. So as I was speaking to when I consulted with someone earlier today, like I don't own nothing for you to tax me. I don't got no property. I don't own no money. The trust own all of it. Then you got to remember, if you move in like in a religious type trust, if you move in like in a 508 settings, things of that nature, then you don't owe nothing anyway. You see what I'm saying? Now,
Okay.
if they come in after you in that percents, now it's just for you to prove it. So now you just need to have where you have assigned or conveyed or anything of that nature as a legal title to the trust, right? And now once you can show that, that's your proof. You can do also a certificate of trust to show the establishment of the trust, et cetera. And as that the trustee has the right to represent as an authority for it, all of that different things like that. But once you show that, I mean, what else can they do? Like I don't got nothing here for you. Like I said, that's even with your wages and stuff. Give it to the trust. We don't own any money. We don't own it. It's not ours. It belongs to the trust. Your labor, your time, your property, your signatures, your autographs, your human capital, just your human capital existence of you. All of that should belong to the trust. You're just you're the trustee, and you're also a beneficiary who receives enjoyment of it. Or sometimes you could be the trustee who has the right to use whatever set of property for the administration of, right, the trust. So the trust could give you permission as the trustee to use stuff, or you automatically got the enjoyment of interest in to use something based upon you being a beneficiary. And see, a lot of people look at beneficiary, oh, the beneficiary is the owner. No, a beneficiary don't have to own anything either. It could just enjoy it, enjoy the property, right? So,
Right.
it's just to move everything out of it. And this is not, it's not tax evasion. It's just tax avoidance, just to literally avoid it. And if we continue to move in that manner, then it keeps us in a place to where things can't. And I always say this: we always say everything about our life is in the glorification of God. If that's true, then we shouldn't be taxing nothing, because everything about you is in a religious perspective, regardless. From your food you eat, that's dietary for according to your religion, right? Tax exempt,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you sit down having and you eating, that's a form of fellowship. That's a right. That's also a form of a write off as well. You don't gotta. It's exempt. There's no reason to pay a taxation on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just we can talk about clothes. We can even say your money. If you working, that money is being placed into the trust. The trust now owns it. But now, what does that money do? It takes care of the people of the what the in the church or the religious setting, whatever it may be, right? So who are the
Right.
people? It's yourself. So now you taking that same money that you were saying that you own, that's yours, but now it belongs to the trust, and the trust duty is to take care of the charitable service for the people, the foundation, right? So now it's
Right.
all tax exempt, all of your food, all of your housing, all of that, fully tax exempt.
Perfect. So one quick question about that though. This will still be retroactive. I mean, even if I'm putting everything in the trust now and it's for 2020, the year the pandemic broke out.
Man, you a time traveler. Don't nobody know but you.
Gotcha. I love it.
See, a
Okay.
lot of people
And
think just
so,
because they went and got an EIN. All right, have you ever noticed that if you go get a EIN for a trust right now, it's going to ask you when was the trust funded? You can date that mud back to 2015 if you want to. They don't know. The trust could
mhm,
have been funded from the day you were born.
right,
You see what I'm saying? So, but my whole
right.
point is, it's like the only reason you're getting what you're getting the EIN number for, it could just be for banking purposes. Has nothing to do. It doesn't mean that your trust wasn't funded at a particular time. It's just saying that for banking purposes, I'm needing the EIN, right? But your
Hmm.
trust could have been funded. Nobody knows.
Right.
That's just like if you sit down right now and you went back and you redid your whole entire trust, or you even created another trust, right? that
Hmm.
was that was dated back to a certain date, and now that trust owns it. And if you want to transfer it from that trust to the next trust, then do it that way. Now, what starts a trust? There has to be a subject matter here. So there has to be a form of corpus, right? A body here, which is the actual asset. So the asset that you do convey, you give to the trustee for the benefit of another type situation. And if you do it in that way, then now you automatically got a trust. And the reason why I'm saying that, I'm saying you don't have to go type up a 20-page declaration of trust. No, you can type up something small, literally, from and backdated from whatever date. The thing is that trust could have been existing. A trust can exist verbally too. It just takes the witnesses and the people to acknowledge that there is a trust and this is what was said to be done for the trust. That's it. They don't know. Nobody
Right.
knows but you.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. So, and I can do this by even doing an affidavit to give the facts and then have the trust agreement and that certificated security agreement from the class that you did
Mm-hmm.
that shows that as well. That would be powerful having all three of those.
I mean, you can for sure, but I'm just saying the only thing you have to do is just go back. If whatever you saying happened in 2020, okay, well, let's say you had, uh, uh, let's say there was a John H. Doe, some type of trust, or the Millennial Trust that you had back in during the pandemic, right? You never got a bank account or anything like that for it, so you didn't need an EIN. But you do got the documentations of the Millennial Trust saying that that you transferred this particular money of that year into this trust, and it belongs to the trust. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See, you're the main record holder. Only thing they need is what?
records, copies of
is for us to assert it.
They just need the evidence that it happened. That's it. Nobody knows but you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So don't testify against yourself.
Facts. You can't. You don't got to self-incriminate yourself, right?
Right.
So go back, make sure that there was a trust that was in existence at that time. Since you already created the other trust and the doc, if you already gave that documents out or whatever the case, you can say this trust had this amount particular property. And then now you're going to take it from that millennial trust, and now you're transferring all of the rights and interests that it had to this new trust.
Got you. Okay. Perfect. Because I was in your trust class on that Saturday, so I do have that, and I did have the tax class because I was in I did purchase that one, so I got that. Okay, so that's perfect. Thank you. But I'm going with the trust. I like that idea. That's brilliant. That's the best way. That really does
that's
cover
the
us.
best way and the only way, because now you can say it ain't mine. I don't got nothing for you here. I don't got no
Yes.
money. I don't got no property. Nothing's in my name. And even if it is in my name, I'm the trustee. I'm just doing this, holding it in my name on behalf of the trust. That's it. Because the trustee can put things within its name for the trust. That's what the trustee does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Especially if you got your name in the trust as well. The trust holds.
But it just needs to be stated but that don't even matter. It just needs to be a conveyance. That's all.
Okay.
Long as there's a conveyance or some form of assignment of rights and interests, et cetera, that you're talking about, that's it. That's your proof.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. God bless you.
All right. What's up, Hutch?
Hey, what's up, Eric? Just wanted to say heart go out to you, man. Condolences to you and your family. I haven't been able to tap in as much, but I tap in when I can. I'm still on it, and appreciate all you do, bro.
Absolutely. Appreciate you as well.
I shared some info with some people that may be listening in. I'm kind of glad that you touched on that thing about the wages and you know, nominated it for the trust. 'Cause hopefully they'll hear that with you and starts to make even more clarity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And some of them are dealing with previous what they think are agreements with the IRS to pay with those interest and penalty payments, and I tell them that there's other methods to do as well. Hopefully they'll continue.
it's one of those things, guys. This applies to everybody. You know how they always say, like, well, they ain't got nothing for me to sue them. It's a waste of time, right?
Yeah.
Be the same way. Like, I ain't got nothing for you to come get. It's a waste of time. You coming over here and what you want, some rocks, some dirt? You want some lint? You know what I mean?
It all belongs to the trust.
Yeah, the trust owns it, and
Past, present, and future.
it's this show I watch where the guy was like, I don't own anything but my sword. Now, mind you, he had all beneficial interests to all kind of gold and everything, but he did not own it. He had the right to use it and in the enjoyment of it. But he always said, I don't own it. I don't own anything but my sword. That's it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That's
I
the
do.
main thing. So operating
I'm
that
gonna
capacity.
definitely see you in Houston, man. When you go, I'm gonna fly back home for that. So I need a break anyway.
Man, Houston gonna be lit. I already know. We're gonna be catering and everything, so it's gonna be some great food, great lesson, the hidden ledger. We're gonna be talking about teaching you guys how to get equity off of your bank deposits. Instead of them giving you $2 or $1.50 a year, you're gonna learn how to get a non-interest bearing account with your trust, And then you're going to leverage that with the bank because the bank loves money. They want you to. And you can give them permission instead of just not saying anything and letting everything be handled like general funds.
Right. Right.
Yep, you absolutely can.
Yeah. I'll be hollering at my boy Robert. I'll be seeing you.
Ah, yeah. We're gonna be locked in, man, for sure.
So well, I'm gonna get out of the way, man. Just listen in, man.
All right, appreciate it. All right, Low French, what's up?
What's up? Good evening.
How you
Um,
doing?
I'm all right. How are you? Whew,
I'm
I'm
doing
kind of
pretty
out of breath.
good.
That's good. I just climbed up the whole 3 flight of stairs. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. But I appreciate you. I've been following you for a few months now, and um, I'm a baby coming out the womb, so it's everything a little fresh. So I'm just trying to get everything and understand everything. So I got to trust
Mm-hmm.
because I understood that part. And now this conveyance, this is what's keeping me.
Okay.
When we're conveying our property into this trust, we're recording that, but who gets that? Who sees that?
You do. Everybody don't gotta know your business until it's time to show it. When it's time to show
But
it,
do I record it?
no.
Hmm.
Only thing you're gonna want to record down in like in a county or something like that is if you're dealing with some type of land or something. Other than that, it's no
Okay.
need to. You're recording it in the actual trust. The trust has its own records. The trust can show proof of a legal title where things were conveyed to it, and now it has full right of ownership because the trust has a right to enter into contracts. The trust has the right to own property. The trust has the right to sell property.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
it's nothing else that you need to do with it. The only thing that you would have to make known is certain little small things that, if it deals with just depends. Like who needs to know? If nobody really needs to know that it's in the trust, then it doesn't matter. Because really what happens is as long as you're living, then it's cool. But if something was to happen to you and then they're gonna be like, hey, there's a
Right.
trust that owns this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like a trust has this particular property. A trust has whatever the case may be that is going on. You know what I'm saying? But now once you start moving and you start like claiming your name, you claim your
Yeah.
autographs, your signatures and stuff like that. Now, if you want to start leveraging that, that's why I
Hmm.
said we can send certain things as through a private administration because you're letting these people know, like, hey, I see you are dealing with trust property. All right.
Yeah.
And, here's the value of trust property that you're using. And you can either cease and desist on this matter of using trust property, or you can, pay us fully for the use of the trust property. You can do that with credit agencies. You can do that with pretty much anybody. Just depends on who's using a
Jesus.
property. Especially now, if they using it without the authority at all, see now that a lot of it can create a constructive trust. And that also means that if these credit agencies are using your trust property, such as your source data, and if
Mhm.
they're using it and selling it, they can create a constructive trust because how much money they made off of it, they really owe it to you. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cause I got some bills. I mean, I know I shouldn't be listening to a lot of people, but um, some people say your bills is paying you. They supposed to pay you, and I'm like, well, how's that? So do I put the bills in my trust name, or I get confused a little bit on that. Um, but
I mean,
yeah,
I'm gonna say this before you go to jumping into bills and all of that stuff. First, just fully understand trust. Just keep studying on trust. I don't want you to get out there too quick because a lot of people take this information and the first thing they start doing is stop paying the bill. without understanding the full process of what to do or how to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, they losing the car, they lights off, they getting put out, is this, is that. And I'm like, hey, okay, if you're gonna listen to what people saying that they supposed to be paying you, etc., then what you do is you pay it until you figure it out, and then that means they owe you everything else on the back end, right?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I definitely got to get that understanding because, baby, woo, I'm going though. I done came a long way listening to your classes and stuff. And oh my gosh, I really have.
but here's
Like,
the
people
thing:
call.
before you try all these little process, the best thing is to know that everything that's pretty much going on is a trust relationship. Every contract that you have entered into is a trust relationship. There's obligations that's
Yeah.
got to be fulfilled according to both parties. There has to be everything that needs to be fully disclosed. Contract law is very important. There has to be consideration. Can they prove consideration? Do they even have the delegation of authority? So it's like it's so much stuff that we could get into before you go let me try this negotiable instrument. Man, we can get the debt discharged by off so much other things, right? Before we even
Yeah.
enter into that particular realm.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-mm-mm.
And it's just
Yeah.
knowing that, if they don't have the original note, how to actually go about doing that. You can literally request certain things and they have to be able to prove and show it. And if they can't and they don't give you that full disclosure, then guess what? They in breach of the actual contract because they have to disclose any and all things to you. If you ask
Yeah.
for the chain of title, if of the transferring of whatever note and security interest, if the note and security interest has ever been separated or anything like that, that's verification. So, they lose in that. So it's like for
Yeah.
real. And this is their process anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
This their process anyway. That's just like when I was reading the Hidden Ledger, right? When it comes to money, and I was explaining how money moves around when we was talking about this last night. And what I said is that it was one bank that says that the customer's deposits are automatically used for investments and it goes under securitization and things like that. So I'm saying, okay, if you know that already, then assert the right on it that you're supposed to receive something in equity. But again, do people know is the question, and how to actually operate when it comes to these particular things. And most people don't because they don't read the contract. So I'm gonna say just continue to study law, of the law of trust. Just read the trust, keep understanding contract. Know that every contract cannot have anything that's hidden. And the truth be told, that nobody's ever supposed to succumb any harm under any form of contract. No contract is supposed to cause you harm. No contract is supposed to make you lose money. No contract is supposed to bring you into any form of debt, ever.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. What's up, Mel?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
My condolences to grandmama, man. I know she looking down on you right now, brother.
Appreciate it.
So I gotta go back, man, to this habeas corpus, brother. So, I went through the whole spiel with my brother, man. He actually came in here twice, man, but he's so quiet, man. I made him come in here. He just ain't ever speak. He just came in here. He heard you talking. He was like, man, bro, on his stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I just, I couldn't, some people, man, they ain't got it in them, man, But so listen, about this habeas, my brother got out in the middle of April. Just the other day, something told me, let me go back and check on his case. So I go in his case, I go checking it, and the judge dismissed it. So I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, well, how my brother get out in April, but they dismissed it? Like, but the judge just made the decision on June 2nd. He been out since April, and I'm thinking like, well, I remember the day you had classes on a Wednesday, and I just happened to go down there on a Wednesday, and I refiled it. I had already filed it, but I went and got my document certified. That was in federal court. I went and got them certified, and I took them to Superior Court, and I went down there. That's when the clerk, she seen my documents. And she was just like, well, the case already closed. I'm just like, how the case closed? He locked up. But, she didn't tell me that they already transferred him to prison. But she took the documents, she took them to stenographer, whoever the dude was. She brought them back to me and told me, only my brother or his lawyer could file it. That I left. And on that night, I'm looking, I'm like, dang, my brother ain't in here no more. So my homegirl looked it up and seen they had moved him because we couldn't find him in the system at all. But they told me, when you're in prison, they got the process system, so when you go to prison, most times, you don't hear from nobody for 30 to 60 days. So I'm like, dang, it's going to be about 2 months I hear from bro. That was on Wednesday. Tuesday, they had transferred him. Friday, he called me back, and I said, what the hell? He said he was back at the county. So I knew what I did work, and he got out. He didn't get out that day. He got out the next week. And I'm just like, well, if he got out, and mind you, I ain't just filing in court. I CC'd everybody. I sent it to the judge, the Internal Affairs Bureau. I CC'd the Department of Justice, Civil Rights Bureau. I did the Assembly member of the state. Who else I do? The district attorney. I'm talking about, and I CC'd everybody. I sent everybody the same thing, just putting everybody on notice. Then he got out. And then, I just happened to be checking just to check. I'm just like, well, how the heck he get out? And she just dismissed it. You know what I'm saying? Which was weird. So I just want you to speak on that to me. I know it shouldn't be no big deal because he already out and he good now. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, is it because you think it's because I CC'd everybody? Because I put everybody.
Man, what I will say is this: you never know what happens. And I'm gonna say it like this: we got a force of nature that's with us, of the unseen, because the truth is this: like, they got way more police power than you. They got way more military service power than you. They got way more resources within their own little system. But there's this energetic divineness that moves along with us, bro. And it could be a lot that goes into it, but what I'm saying is, it's like it ended up in the right hands, no matter what. No matter who made the penmanship to move whatever that needs to be moved or done, it was done. You know what I mean? And that's just one of those things, like, because I done seen somebody like trying to do an eviction on somebody, bro. Shoot, bro, they died day before court. Literally.
Yeah, I just heard about. Yeah, that happens. I just heard about a situation. They was trying to do. I know a dude. They was trying to get 30 years, and just so happened they was about to give him 30 years, about to blame him for some drugs. The prosecutor. This happened like a month ago, and somewhere in North Carolina. The prosecutor passed away. Case got dismissed.
See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It's a force of nature that's with us. Like, I done been in a situation, everything filed, done right, all of that. Officer was in a whole car wreck, couldn't make it.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I mean by like, we gonna be tested to see if we gonna be surely to assert a right and represent it. And that's, remember we just did a class. I don't know if he was in there, but we was talking about the living jurisdiction. We was talking about energy and how all of this applies, right? The cause and effect of things. And that the energy that you place into this needs to be the same energy all the way through. You don't need to mix and mingle or run around, or, you get what I'm saying? You just got to have the same type of energy. And perseverance is a great thing to have with this. It's going to happen in your favor. And being able to know it's going to happen in your favor, because you're going to stand on that particular right. That's why I tell people, hey, don't worry about a motion being denied. You preserve the record is what matters. So that way, when it gets to the right place that it needs to get to, then it's going to be handled the way it need to be handled. You know what I mean? And, a lot of people, oh, man, they denied. They don't even say denied. They ignored it. No, they didn't ignore it. They answered you. But they didn't give you due process. And when they don't give you that due process, well, as I said, the actual appellate courts, what do they look for? They look for law and facts. A court of law and facts. So a court of law and fact. The facts means that what are the facts of the court procedures and everything that took place. Now, the law is the due process of law. Was due process of law fully given? So as I told you guys earlier, really every traffic case, we can literally get it dismissed because it says that all criminal prosecutions, right? You have a right to a jury trial, right? And a speedy trial, right? By a public jury. Is that not right? That's that's in the Sixth Amendment. So you got that. Now, if they're gonna say that this traffic case is criminal in nature, then guess what? They already lost jurisdiction because it's a bench trial court. They don't have the power to give you a jury trial. So that automatically means that this is a violation of due process of law because you're operating from it, right? So in order for you to be able to will it, so now I get to talk about the actual Constitution. They'll say, oh, well, this is not a constitutional, the Constitution doesn't matter. This is statutory court. It does matter when the statutory court is in violation, right? It's already void. It's not voidable. It's void from the ab initio, from the beginning, right? So it's the same thing, bro. Like, you know, it could be something you even did before that. You never know. But it could be you putting that in front of everybody's faces to get somebody that actually took a look at it and was like, nah, we can't. You can't do that. You know what I mean? So, and that's just one of the things that takes place, right? We got, like I say, and the words, remember, words are energy. It's power in the words, right? That same energy has to carry through. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so it can only transfer. How that energy transferred is how it played out for you. You know what I mean? So I can't really say what else it was, but it's the fact of a right being asserted.
And I appreciate your words, bro. I really take heed to everything you're saying, man. I still watch your classes all the time. I study day and night, man. So I appreciate everything, brother.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. As I told you last time, thank you for being a good brother. Because if your brother don't know one thing, we know you got your brother back, and you did that every time, and we got to witness it from the time you told us about him going in, from the time of him actually getting out, and we would just say no what needs to be done. I remember telling you like, nah, you got to file it on behalf of his, you got to file it in his name, not yours, etc. And I just know you kept moving, and you popped up one week on us was like, hey, he out. I said, we was like, what? And he was like, yeah, he out. So, and we remember him going to prison, not being in the county and all of that. So we all got to witness that as well. So.
Yep. Well, I remember when he went to, he was only he was in county for like since last year, but when they sent him to prison, he was never supposed to go. I remember he told me it was in Jackson County state, some state prison in Jackson County in Georgia. He said before he got there, the week before, 2 people had just died. So my brother was like, bruh, he was like, bruh, I thought I was about to have to fight everybody. And I was like, man, I'm just glad you out of there, bro. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
timing is everything, and God's timing is the best. So at God's speed only.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem. What's up, Ricardo?
Hey, I wanted to piggyback. I had a question too, but I wanted to piggyback off of what Lil Prince was saying. I'm guilty of that, and just going out there and trying it or thinking that I might, and I know enough when I honestly don't really understand it. I started doing creating different entities and like going one by one, learning what an LLC was, trying to like created it, and then went off to do like an unincorporated. Then I went off and did a holding company, and now I got a bunch of profiles or like a bunch of these already created with their bank accounts and everything, but I don't even know how to use them really like that. Like I was just going by what I was understanding and learning. And then I went and did the bills like she was saying, and that's how I got my credit card cut off. I seen it on the contract that it was saying where to send it if it was going to be endorsed, basically. And I did, but now I'm going to go through the process, just like how you're saying, it's all about how you assert it after that, and Right. So now I started arming the lawsuit. I started figuring out, and I started sending them the private administrative process. And I sent the last one, which was the notice and the intent of a suit. Uh, and I sent it to the same address that I had down on the contract. But then for the suing part, that's why I was asking you. I didn't know exactly who to give that part to. But I'm gonna do what you said, straight to him, straight to the big guy.
Yeah, you send it to their headquarters. Let them know they're being sued.
Mhm. So my main question was right. You remember I was suing the lieutenant. What his time is up, like literally like 6 days, 7 days, or something like that. The time that he was supposed to respond. And I bought the because I know I'm supposed to hit him with a default, and then I bought the book from you, the ebook that was to be able to collect the judgment.
Right.
Is there something else I gotta do after that? Because I'm at
Well,
that
you
step.
don't
I got
collect the
that down.
judgment until the order has been made. But since
No,
you
no, no. Right. I'm trying to stay like 3 steps up. That's
Okay, I
why.
understand.
Right. So after that book, right? After that process, right? What's after that? That's it, right? I don't have to file anything. I have to once it's all collected, that's when I do the completed.
Yeah, you'll let them know that everything was completed and collected.
Got it. That's it. That was my question.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Um, just even like what y'all was saying, like it's not even about y'all trying the stuff, like because a lot of the stuff that you saying have been known. It's not that it's even wrong. It's not that it's even wrong. Like I say, it's people knowing how to assert. Like when I say assert it right, I mean being able to go to court and you can defend what you did. That's my whole entire point. Now, my word to everybody out there is if you are out there trying different process, you need to make sure you put void where prohibited by law. You need to literally make sure you put void where prohibited by law. Now, by putting void where prohibited by law, what does that do? What does that do? Takes away
Remove responsibility from you.
Rescind.
it takes away one thing that they could only that
Consent.
matters in court, which is what?
Liability.
Consent.
Somebody said content or what?
Intent.
Intent, yes, exactly. It takes away willful intent to cause harm. You had no willful intent to cause harm. You did everything according to what you speculated as a law, and you specifically asked for it to be voided where prohibited by law. That takes away willful intent. And that's what they have to prove in court, that you willfully intended to cause harm. It's not a willful intent if I ask you, or we consider everything is already considered void if it's prohibited by law. So they could never prove that against you in court. Now, so if you did a negotiable instrument or something of that nature and it went there and then they come back after you trying to say that you tried to do a forgery and stuff like that, and then now they got you in court, and now the whole thing, your whole speculation is supposed to be what? I need a motion of production to prove willful intent, right?
Even if I didn't write it on there, huh?
Yeah, they got to prove it. Prove it where I intended to cause harm. Because every crime has to be considered under willful intent, and they have to have without a reasonable doubt that you were intending to cause harm in order to charge you. What?
Yeah, I see that. I only did without recourse, and I signed my name as an agent, or authorized representative is what I did, and then I thumbprinted it, but in the front I did the accepted and
but see, even then, only thing you have to do is say, hey, according to the UCC within this particular state, this is all it takes to create a negotiable instrument. So a negotiable instrument just needs to have a what? A promise to pay a certain definite time, etc. Right? That's in Article 3. So if you got everything according to it, remember, it's still not willful intent when you were just following the law.
Yeah.
So now they got to prove what if they're gonna consider the forged instrument type thing. Then nope. What you need to prove is that this is not a negotiable instrument, because according to the law that's stated here, this is a negotiable instrument. So what does a negotiable instrument need to say it has? You check off everything that it says within your state UCC about Article 3, a negotiable instrument. Now you just killed out what? The willful intent again.
Yeah.
That's it. The thing about court is one, it has to be facts, and they have to prove willful intent. That's it. No difference. Right? That's why I say with the thing with child support. If you got to go to court and you know you ain't got the money, you sit up there and just say I don't have the ability to pay. Don't say I ain't got it, because that could be looked at as you're not going to pay it. And if that's what they're saying, then they can hold you in contempt of court for willful intent of not going to pay the actual order or whatever, right? But you can also just say, hey, I don't have the ability to pay, and according to the Constitution, I cannot be in prison for debt. You just took away willful intent, and that removes you away from contempt, right? Now, when it also comes to that, we also know that the court, the prosecutor, the judge, the sheriff, anybody that's involved in any form of child support case is also under a private contract under Title 4D with the Child Support Enforcement Agency, right? So now you got to ask yourself is this, how is it possible for the actual judge to give an order on something that they have an interest in? Right? I think you got an echo. Somebody got an echo. I can hear it. So if you can prove that, right? Because like I say, just think about it. How can a judge be in a private contract and then turn around and make a child support order against somebody? How is that possible? Mm-hmm. And it's also acting as a form of a civil claim as well. So if it's going to move and act like a civil claim and under civil nature, and it's over $20, you have a right to it. What you got a right to, family?
Trial by jury.
Trial by jury. All day long. So this is where they mess up at every single time. And this is why I say that. So it's just for us to know, because you got to know, like, the Constitution is a trust. So operate it as like it's a trust. They're trustees. They're obligated to fulfill everything that's within it. Operate it as such. And like I say, that's where a lot of people out here in this community will say, that's in this they like to call it the sovereign movement community or whatever the case may be. But whatever you want to call it, the majority of the people problem is lack of procedure and administration. That's it. It's not that you're wrong about what you're saying. It's just how you applying it. You're completely wrong. Right? That's it. And once you learn it from that perspective, it changes everything from you. Just understand that the court rules it's the actual, it's a trust, right? The court rules and procedure is a trust. They're obligated to follow. It's part of rule of law. It's part of due process of law. So if they break the rules and procedures in that as well, that's a violation of due process. Right? Somebody was just saying to me today that they went and they represented, they went in there and said that they're not whatever. They would, like, let's just say it like this. They said they wasn't John H. Doe, but they are the agent, etc., here on behalf of John H. Doe. So the judge said, oh, okay, well, we're just going to consider that you're not here. You see how they work? Oh, you're not? No, I'm not that person. I am such and such. I'm the agent, the beneficiary. Okay, we're just going to assume you're not here. So what you think the next thing they did?
Warrant.
Put out a warrant, right? put out a warrant, right? Immediately. Now, how could that have been avoided? All you got to do is at an arraignment. See, a lot of people like to say, "No, man, if you go in their court, you're giving submitting yourself to the jurisdiction. How you gonna submit yourself to the jurisdiction when they never had jurisdiction from the first place for violation of due process of law? There is no jurisdiction here. So automatically you need to say that I'm not guilty based upon what? Violation of due process of law. I just took away jurisdiction just then. Right? So now I'm going to do a motion to dismiss. I got an affidavit stating everything that needs to be stated from your political standing, from the facts of the actual case and things that happen and what they don't have the power to do, etc. You file that in, you do a motion to dismiss. If they deny that, say, okay, well, let's do a motion of production. Now, guess what I did? If I say I need you to produce these things, now I need you to produce me to where you have the authority to give. You see what I'm saying? To deny my right to a trial by jury. You see what I'm saying? Now they got to do what? What did I just do?
You boxed them in.
I just challenged jurisdiction. Without going up there and saying, hey, I challenge jurisdiction. I don't got to do it that way. It defeats the purpose. I'm just going to operate based upon the rule of law, and I'm going to move according to the procedures, and I'm going to make them prove and give me everything that I want. That's it. Now I can't be held in contempt of court for trying to delay. And they can't call it a sovereign citizen thing or any of that, because now you got to go through motion of discovery and you got to prove everything. Because now I'm going to make you prove on the record that you got some form of delegation of authority. You got to show me the law that gives you the power to remove or to remove my right to trial by jury. Right? And they was in there over a traffic ticket. I mean, if it's the city, and you can also, man, tell them to produce the city book so they can show and prove that the money that's being made from these particular traffic tickets doesn't go into their forms of salary and their pay. Also, motion for the officer who made the claim to show that they had the power to operate. Tell them to prove during the time that they were given the traffic ticket that they were licensed and bonded. Yes. That's all you got to do, yo. Just, hey, facts. Show them their own rules. And one thing people hate to do is what? Follow the rules, especially the ones that sit there and say they're the creators and legislators of them. You know how fast you will create a rule in your house for the children and then turn around and break it in front of their face? It's true. You think they ain't doing that to you? I mean, for real. It happens. They watched you make a rule and then you just violated it. They looking like, what? Like you gonna really do that? So I'm just saying, man, it's more, it's our application. It's our, get rid of the bullshit. Like when I started doing this job, my whole thing was I wanted to make it to where, one, I'm not debating anybody, anything. Cause you're not going to argue with me about what the law say. Like you're arguing with the law, not me. And I can care to speak. The law does not need anybody to stand for it. It just is. We just need to assert it. The truth don't need you it just needs you to assert it, present it. That's it. The truth will stand by itself. The law is going to stand by itself. You see what I'm saying? It's an easier way to do it, because as soon as you walk in there, they're going to respect you more by going to an arraignment saying, because if you don't say you're not guilty and you do all that other stuff, they still going to put you not guilty. Or they'll act like you wasn't there, like you said you wasn't there, and then put a warrant out for you. And now you finna get arrested. And it's a way around that. If you know you was there, you signed in to get in court, you go get that paper, do a motion to quash the warrant, and do a motion of production to ask for the sign-in sheet or subpoena the sign-in sheet from whoever to bring it forth to court to show and prove that you was there at court. That'll help you in that particular manner. But for the most part, you just got to understand truly how to move and stop allowing them to just do any and everything to you. You know what I mean? And, I don't. You know, I used to hear somebody say people out here selling people their own birthrights. You really can't sell nobody their birthright. I mean, it's just like, because the thing is, your right is your right, and it's up to you to know the right in order to assert it. We can give you every single thing and tell you everything about everything. And if you don't do it, then you just don't do it. If you don't care to do it or follow, like, what's the point of it if we ain't gonna do it? You know? Ain't no running from this. You can't run from this. So, and like I said, most of y'all, most people that step into those type of court cases or whatever, the first thing they do is what? Plea. And when I mean by plea, they accept a plea. They accept a plea bargain. They accept, if you say that you're guilty, we're going to give you this, and this. So they just come up basically with a negotiated deal. And you got to understand what's going to cause you harm or not, because it's a deal. Oh, okay, no, I can't do that. That's gonna cause me harm against my such and such rights. It violates due process law. I can't follow along with that. They got to come up with another deal. Like, if they want to play that type of game, I can't do that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, our right is the law. Simple. That's everybody's right. The law itself. If you sleep on the law, you sleep on your rights. And the only thing that can happen, your rights can never be taken away. As brother JK said in here the other day, you just chose not to act on them. And that is a fact. And that is what hurts us the most. You choose not to act on them. I think that if people really asserted their rights, I don't think it would be a police department that exists right now. It wouldn't be one that would survive. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be one that would survive. Not without doing some type of criminal shit to you. And you got to understand, if you go after them and they constantly pulling you over out of retaliation, got another lawsuit. But we got to be willing to attack the situation and not sit back, yo. Not just sit there and let things happen. Like, you're in. We've talked about child support so much that we all know it's private contract. They're all in it. So that means that every child support order is really what? Void. The only reason that it's happening and going forward is because you never acted upon your right, and you choose, and that means you fully agree with it. You consenting to it. How this man gonna be end up making money off you? They're not supposed to make any type of money off you. The salary is already paid. At all. So now, why you think that they automatically always take child support? They letting you know it. They make bank. They make money. Especially now, why you think all these little towns that, especially these little small towns, that if you go 46 miles an hour, they pulling your ass over. It's only one reason that you would pull me over every time that you get a chance, over for 1 mile over, even 3 miles over. It's because that's how this city eats. It's based off the quota of the traffic tickets, et cetera, because it ain't nothing else around. So that literally means that this is how it pays whoever. I always talk about that one movie. It just came out last year. What was it called? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Dude was riding a bike. Police hit him. He was trying to get his brother out of jail, trying to bond him out.
Yeah, with the Marine veteran.
Yeah, what was that
called? The name over there.
That movie. What was that called? Anybody know? Rebel something?
Rebel Moon or something, right?
Rebel Ridge.
Rebel Ridge. All right, so somebody said Ridge Bridge. Rebel Ridge. All right, so my whole entire point of that is that was the type of town I'm talking about. A rinky-dink town who ain't got no ways of making money. They having to lose officers because of all this. And then guess what they was doing? They found a scheme to place these certain type of bonds on these people, right? And now they were able to get money, do all kind of other illegal stuff that they was doing. The judge was involved, the sheriff was involved, and so on, right? If you think that type of stuff don't exist, you out your mind, because it does. It just happened here in Alabama to where they were taking stuff from in Coleman County, right? They were taking stuff out of the evidence room and selling drugs. Police out here selling drugs, taking drugs. Now think about that. A whole police department, man, locking people up, selling drugs. Not only that, how many trafficking rings have we caught them in? That's why I'm telling you, like, they would not be here if everybody was to literally assert their right. If you take every traffic ticket, if we all took the courts to trial, bro, do you know what would happen? If I seen where Huntsville had up to about 900 some tickets within a weekend. And I'm like, damn, that's a lot of tickets. 900. All of them had to go to court within within a month span, right? That's over 900. What if all of them took it to trial? What you think happens? What if
Shuts it down.
What if everybody knew to take it to trial? What if everybody knew to challenge the radar gun to see if it was calibrated that day? Is it record of it
They'll
being
leave
calibrated?
people alone.
You say what now?
They will leave people alone.
Yeah, they'll leave people alone. What if every time someone got pulled over and they ran your name, et cetera, and all of that, and they let you go and they sued for false imprisonment? What if that happened
They
every
will
time?
leave people alone because they losing all that money.
You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Like, we don't know the law. We just letting this stuff just happen. You got police. We watching police kicking in doors, talking about they ain't got to have a warrant. This my house and all that type of stuff. I done seen it all kind of stuff, and I'm just like, dang, that's a lawsuit, bro. You just made this so easy. I didn't watch them come in the house, walk in somebody's house, slam the dude on his face and everything. Fully recorded. And dude ain't do nothing to him. Just want to show he's the boss. Going on home. And we're the ones watching it. And if we're the ones watching it and we see it, that makes us a what? What that make us? Witnesses.
And a call.
Yeah.
We seen it. And we saw it happen. So now that gives us the power to do what? We watching somebody that is usurping their powers, acting in ultra-virus ways, outside of their boundaries, literally outside of their immunities. We got the right to do a quo warranto on that individual and that department. What gives you, because now you didn't just cause harm to this individual, you just broke the public trust of the who? The people.
People.
What if everybody knew we had that power?
Wait, I want to ask you, right? So you saying that I can see a cop doing something wrong, I can sue, right?
You say what now?
Like it don't have to be done. It don't have to be done to me. Is that what you mean?
No, it don't have to be done to you.
Right. Got you.
No, it don't have to be done to you. Because you got to remember, they still took an act to serve the people. And if they do something that caused harm to the people, which means they took an oath. They didn't just take an oath to the individual that they caused harm to. They took an oath to all the people that they're going to uphold the Constitution and all of this stuff, right? And then you watch this person, individual, literally violate the Constitution. We got a right to check that. It's a contract. He breached the contract. He broke the public trust. We have a right to correct this matter. We have a right to see it through. Now, and you got it because hey, that's what I said. Like, the people don't know their power, man.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro, for real. That's what I'm saying. Like the cameras is really it. Like the cameras, y'all, and you just hop on TikTok right now, Facebook, YouTube, on them reels. We all watch somebody get hurt. Everybody sees it. Some of them go super viral, right? And we like, dang, that's messed up. And some people feel like, oh, well, we can't do anything. No, you can. You know, we watch them violate their oath. They should not be working. We can literally petition for the harm that's been caused. You know what I mean? Somebody got in here talking crazy. No sovereign citizen has ever won a case using the corporation's constitution. I've never seen a sovereign citizen win anything anyway. I don't even think a sovereign citizen exists. I still haven't met one yet.
They're unicorns.
Never seen one. Literally. No people. They don't be knowing who we is. Yeah, and I said it like that. I didn't mean to use the correct form of grammar. They don't know who we is. Seriously though, I'm just saying, like, what else we can talk about? We can talk about foreclosures. We can talk about all of that. Because it
14. 14.
You say what, bro?
Somebody was asking, you said earlier about was it 14th, Title 14?
Nah, they was talking about Title 4D. We just talked about that when it comes to
40.
things
Okay,
like
gotcha.
that. The state gonna always be the sovereign though, and I agree. I agree with that. The state is the sovereign. The actual law and things like that. What actually the state which holds the law is sovereign. It always will be. Nobody can ever take that away. The public authority, and that's literally the law itself. That is the sovereign. Everyone else has submitted themselves in a way, but again, the people are sovereign within its power. And where are the people sovereign again, guys? Somebody please tell us.
The government. The government.
Jury. That's the whole point. The whole point of giving the people, that's the reason why you have to be brought amongst your peers, a trial by jury, right? Is because the power is in who? The people. The people are the one who gets to say guilty, not guilty. It just happened with P. Diddy, did it not? Right? If it was just up to a prosecutor and a judge that doing a bench trial, that would not be impartial justice there, right? So if that's the case, then what are we dealing with? That means that they would have been found that man guilty easily. But the fact that it wasn't on him, it was dealing with the people. The people has the power to decide. The people are acting as a full another branch of an executive form of government when we're at the jury. And that's the reason why we have to know to always assert their right to make any and everything, because they'll try to say, oh, certain things don't need to be by jury. Yes, it does. It all does, because it all deals with a what? A right, a liberty. Liberty, anything that's dealing with your liberty has to face full due process of law. Only if you assert it. It's not one judge out here that has to assert it for you. But if you assert it, it's the duty of the judge to protect it. If the judge don't, then you have to know how to what? Making sure we preserve the record. That's why I say don't even worry about it. Preserve the record. If you preserve the record from the beginning that you challenged jurisdiction was never proven. And I don't mean just by challenging jurisdiction. You did the right motion of discovery, everything that you were supposed to do. You exhausted all remedies in that court like you were supposed to. And now you move to the appeal. The appeal is going to look at law and facts. That's it. You can't add any new evidence or anything, because they're going to say that, hey, you should have asserted that right from the very beginning. That's it. It's just that. All I'm saying is private is inferior to the public, meaning the public rules. I don't think there's an inferior situation when it comes to private and public. Because when you say private, we're talking about private citizens. When you're talking about public, you're talking about the public citizens which sit in these particular seats. There is a balance between the law itself. And the balance is number one, they take the oath to the actual Constitution to assert it and protect it and defend it, etc. It's the duty of the people, the private citizens, to always assert the right. Because if you choose not to act on it, equity does not aid a volunteer, which is a form of maxim. So I agree with that. We just have to make sure that we operate and moving. Stop running. We can't run from this. Ever. This is why we got all of this going on right now. You know what they doing, guys? They are creating private prisons just so they can fill them up. They literally just took away hemp out of the stores in Alabama. So they can no longer have the vapes. They can no longer have the flour anymore. Delta 8, Delta 9, stuff like that, it's out of here. Anybody caught with that, it's a felony. Mind you, they just built new prisons down here. Now, mind you, getting caught with real marijuana, cannabis, it's just a misdemeanor still. Now, they also took away businesses. So a lot of businesses had to shut down based upon them no longer doing this anymore. But that's because everybody keep trying to do a public venue setting instead of operating under private member associations. Like, we got a thing called the FDA. The FDA literally determines what is considered consumable, and the things that they say that is consumable. Boy, I tell you. Man.
Poison.
Over half
Consumable.
of what they say consumable in the United States is banned in every other country. Literally. Right? And now I don't fully understand why we don't have what we call PMAs and private markets. We should have that. It should exist. And and the reason why it don't is because we've shifted the power in things. We don't even do private. Like, everybody thinks that I'm finna run and go be a corporation. I'm finna run and go get an LLC. And it's like, man, if y'all ain't figured out and looked at the Omnis community and be like, bro, they ain't doing none of that. And still got everything. They still got it all. They got everything. Operate in every manner. And you just watching them do it. You just watching them do it. They just restricted my live on TikTok. They always do. Every time we get to talking about this type of stuff, they hit me with the restrictions. Every time somebody pop in here and just, you can do it as a 508. That's beautiful that you do it that way. But my whole point is just like, when you looking at these people and you look how they operate, like even the Jewish community, do you know what the Jewish community do? They all do private contracts under arbitration. So now that they become their own judges, et cetera, and they have their own people who do the arbitration amongst them. Did y'all know that? They never see court with one another. You're hardly ever going to see two Jewish people that's going to be in freaking court because they got an arbitration clause amongst they people to where they handle any and all affairs with themselves.
It's smart, though. Really smart.
Yes, why? It's definitely smart. That's the beautiful. You know what I mean? Because you got to realize, like, if they got to go to arbitration and they got to pay any form of fees, et cetera, into this arbitration, and this arbitration is ran by Jewish people, so it's just keeping the money into the community. They got to pay the arbitration, they got to pay the fees, and they got to follow the order. And it still, all that money still stays where? Within the community.
Within that community.
Facts. You can't get mad at how they move. See, here's the thing about a lot of different communities, and I'm gonna get to you, Farmer Day. That it's hard for the so-called black community to do and see. And others too. Not just gonna say just us, but see, other communities know how to choose the greater good of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can be like, man, I don't like Brother Jones. I don't like him one bit. He could be set on fire and I wouldn't even, I wouldn't put him out. You know what I'm saying? If all I had was my urine, I wouldn't put him out. But what he do know is, I'll take my money to Brother Jones before I take it to John down here. You see what I'm saying? He knows that he could hate Brother Jones with everything in him, but he is not gonna take his money to John. I promise you he ain't. Brother Jones gonna do it. Brother Jones gonna take it. He gonna do the job the way he's supposed to. If they have any problems, he'll see them in their arbitration court that they already have set up for their community. That's the difference. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we can't, but right now it's too much hate to even understand what you. If it like, this is where I could talk about this stuff and then laugh at it at the same time, because you just got to see, you got to understand why these people, communities do what they do. And you can't be mad at people saying, I choose mine first. I choose my family first. I choose my family. I choose my race. I choose my community. I choose my state. There is nothing freaking wrong with that. Ever. Y'all do know that, right?
Yes.
For anybody that think there's something wrong with that, it's literally because either you don't like your family, you don't like your own race of people, you don't like your own community, and you don't like your state, your country. Literally, that's what that means. It's a self-hate thing. You ain't got time to worry about if they let you join the reindeer games when you got your own games. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You don't got time to worry about if they not going to let you come in their store when you got your own stores. Who cares? We ain't going over there no way because we circulating the money over here. We trying to keep it in our community as much as possible. But when you're not doing that, you think everybody what? What do you think? You think everybody hates you, right? Think everybody racist. You think people don't whatever.
Pro-black don't mean anti-white.
Man, see, this the thing though. Somebody said we can't do that as long as we have Black, Negro, African American, etc., FBA, all that fussing with one another. That's because they don't understand the whole. Like, having all of that is wrong. It's easy. Like, it's okay to be all of that. Whatever, cool, be it. But at some point, you got to look at, like, did we eat today? Did we grow? Did we ensure we eat tomorrow? Did we grow food today? Do we ensure that we have shelter? Did we build something today? That's what I'm talking about, the common denominator of all things. We don't have to worry about the rest. And I'm speaking to any group of people. But this is what it takes to know. And that's why I said, hey, Brother John, we're gonna give him, they're gonna pay Brother John, but we're not going to John at all. And they could literally hate Brother John to the fullest. What's that one movie where Adam Sandler played he was a Jewish jeweler. What movie was that? Anybody know? Adam Sandler. Anybody know?
I know about the one when he did the shoes, but not a jeweler.
Nah, he was a jeweler on this one.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Go watch that. Yeah, go watch that. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And they had major problems amongst their community, but they weren't stepping outside of it at all. And all I'm saying is nothing wrong with that. And all of that goes back to PMAs, private member associations, and trusts, and you know what I'm saying? What do you want to say? 508 C1As, whatever the case may be. Just building these type of communities, etc. That's what it goes back to. And you got the power to do that. But as pretty much everybody can either go 5 miles down the road, maybe 10. If you got more than 10 miles to go to get to a grocery store, you might need to think about life again. I hope you're growing food or something. But for me, I can just look outside and I see Publix. Boom. Publix don't put no money into our community. Not a dime. That mother's soaking up all the coins. The only thing it does is hire people, it pay people, even the people they hired might shop there and they get the money right back. What did it matter? Right? Y'all paying attention to what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Where's the market that serves the people? The people by the people. And that's going to continue to expand the people. It's too much. You know? And that's the reason why I'm saying that we have to know our rights, assert our rights, but also get in line with business and being industrious as people to understand how to operate. There's nothing wrong with it. And I ain't saying you can't go shop on the other side if they do something a little better. It's just out of respect of business. That's where I'm going. That's cool. But still, you can't get mad when people do and know how to do and will do for themselves and continue to have for themselves. I don't ever see communities that got their shit together that's out here saying something ain't right. You know what I mean? You just don't see it, man. I ain't never seen nobody in the Amish community care whether who was president. I ain't never seen it. Not saying that you haven't, but I ain't never seen it. They worried about the next man in line. Who's gonna is the next man in line ready to take care of life? You know what I mean? That's the thing. What's up, brother Dave?
It's man, you talking to me right now because I'm with the Amish, so they've helped me understand how this works. And I tell you, man, I was at the sawmill and one of the guys was just asking me because he found out, we raise our own animals, you know what I'm saying? We raise our own produce. So his thing was, why are you different, man? Why don't you listen to the government? Because his idea, his perception of blacks was that black people listen to the government. They're dependent on the government. And what I understand now, not even to just get into the black and white labels, but what I understand is that it's so much hate for the Amish here in my small community in Crofton, not understanding that we should learn from them. We should pay more attention to them because they're people. It's funny, man, but people are frustrated saying, oh, man, I got a speeding ticket, or, my kids got to be in a seatbelt or the car seat. And look at them riding in the tractor, with the kids on the back of the trailer and lawn chairs and shit, kind of like a parade. But understanding they know their rights, like learn your rights. And this was just a quick chat I had at the local Hooks, and the chick was frustrated. And the more I said, just learn your rights, figure out who you are. It's like, it never registered. It's just like, but the cop was just, and I'm just like, fuck, but it's so much, man. But I appreciate you and what you're doing. I just know they also have a lot of questions as far as their children, as far as them in general, just with why do we just not question things? Why do we choose pretty much to be governed? But we have so many complaints about everything, but we choose to be governed. So it's a bunch, man. But I appreciate you, man. That trust class, it's been having me on fire, man. And now I'm just ready to send out these conditional acceptances. I'm ready to put my foot down and kind of hammer. I know you were talking about being a witness. One of the things with me is I smoke marijuana.
Right.
When I'm riding motorcycles, I can't smoke. So one time I just had the opportunity to be able to stop and address pretty much a situation. I just saw a guy that looked like me, you know, with the cops, stop, a lot of cops, him handcuffed back, and I just stopped. And come to find out, another car claimed that he put a gun on him, which they searched his car, never found a gun. But my thing was, well, y'all been had him handcuffed over here in the sun, you know, he's uncomfortable. But because I was sitting there pressing the issue and just asking, you know, well, do you have the other party down the road? Are they handcuffed? Are they, you know, you searching their whole car, you know, you stripping their car? And that wasn't the case. But luckily, he just had somebody there to kind of push that. But now with what you're teaching with, we still don't know who we were. But I knew something was wrong with that situation. But man, I plan on using all this for myself, for my kids. I got one of my troublemakers here with me, man. My 14-year-old, he's our butcher. And another thing to what you're saying, the movie Holes, I watched it in public school when I was getting indoctrinated and everything. And in that movie Holes, I didn't notice, but at the end of the movie, when they find the chest, and it was the one that his grandfather left, inside that chest was all different types of currency.
Yep.
But also in that chest was like promissory bonds, just like and just seeing all that stuff to kind of help reel it all in. It was just another set of eyes watching the movie, but letting the kids know, because he's been in the backyard digging a hole, you know, just kind of letting them know to utilize these things. And man, I just appreciate you, man. And you just kind of hit it when you start bringing up the Amish, because I've been telling my wife I can't wait to get my tractor and ride into town, man. I go to the auctions, but we just sell animals. We don't buy because they harmonize when they get in there, and I really don't know what they're saying. And I'm gonna be done did something I didn't mean to do. But man, I appreciate your existence, man. I appreciate what you're doing for everybody. It's awesome. But yeah, you hit it, man.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's just it's understanding, because like, you know, I'm gonna just say it. Our community is like, I'm the one. I did this. I'm the big dog. I'm the, you know, and it's based upon one individual making so much accomplishment. It's kind of how you look at the LeBron James and Michael Jordan debate, as if one individual made all of that happen for them, and they, you know, without a team. It's a team game, you know, and a lot of people look at one-on-one players and who can play the best one-on-one. And the one thing I've learned about LeBron James and respected, like just watching Damian Lillard waking up, waived. They got to pay him. They still got to pay him, but they waived him. He just signed to the Bucks maybe, what, a year and a half ago, something like that. But waived him. Bro, you can't get mad at now. That's why I say you can't get mad at LeBron James for using the system and leveraging himself as an asset and moving himself around however he chooses. Like, bro, that's big. That's major. You know what I mean? People really wish they could do that. They talk about it like, man, what would another one to know? No, you couldn't go to another team. You ain't had the balls to understand the rules of the game, and not just the game of what it means to play on the court, but the whole entire setting. That's the same situation with us dealing with the courts and the whole system. Like, man, y'all out here being star players, but yet don't understand the game. You got the skill to apply a remedy, but you don't got the skill to assert it through a system and understand the rules and procedures, which is the whole entire setting, right? That's where a lot of people go left at, is to know that. You know, so I mean, you know, let's really get into more of the rules, following the rules. You know, so you don't have a couple screws left out, so you don't leave a leg off a table or something. Read the instructions, because we will not do what we're supposed to do. So I mean, you know, season 6 has been great though, man. For real, it's been awesome. I've enjoyed every moment. from season 6. We started off with great testimonies and few more throughout there, and just and I think that my focus for season 6 was to really get us understanding the court and how we literally supposed to move with stuff procedure wise, because everybody knows, I know how to do this, I know how to do a negotiable instrument, and then you don't understand the right to assert yourself, to protect yourself. I can imagine many people that has done a negotiable instrument that's been charged with forgery and they didn't know how to assert themselves, had to go hire a lawyer and still end up going to jail. You see what I'm saying? So that was my focus for this year. What's up, Empress?
Peace, 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 everyone. So I'm glad you brought up the court case because you've been speaking about that and other things. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you have taught me. And listen, I have been on my stuff. So you remember the court case that I've been telling you I've been going through with One Main Financial, and they dismissed it. And even though the judge had granted it and all this other stuff, so I put the appeal in, and they accepted my appeal. So now I'm on to the next phase, which is to that win.
Absolutely. And you're going to win. You're going to absolutely win it, because if you preserve the record, that's all that matters. Now, a lot of times, guys, this too, when you go to start asking for the original note and all of that stuff, and then they try to deny that, well, you got to know that was for your defense. And you have a right to literally build anything for your defense. You got the right to subpoena any form of documentations, et cetera, in your defense. And that has to go to be added to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's ways around that to be able to push forward on that as well. Because remember, you don't know if something is a copy until you have the original. I always say that. You don't know what's a copy. Somebody can just literally bring you a piece of paper that looked like it was ran off a copy machine, and then they could say, okay, here's a copy of the original contract. How do I know that? How do I know this is a copy of the original without the original being present? And that's the thing. So that's why I say we challenge those actual things, man, for sure. What was one of y'all favorite classes this season? What's more memorial to you?
Lawful money.
Okay.
What you spoke on last night was
I
great.
cleared a lot of things up.
Certificated security agreement.
Okay. That was in the Remedy and Rebellion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually the first class we did of season 6.
That was hard.
Anybody else?
That was.
But I'm gonna go with that trust declaration.
Okay, declaration of
That was a
trust.
good one. That was
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate
The
it,
two
brother
court
Martin.
classes, Defend and Conquer.
Defending Congress. That was pretty
Yeah.
dope. I like that as well. I really enjoyed doing the money judgment, the lawful redemption, just showing people how to look for certain things and go after those specific things when it comes to these contracts and these corporations, and how to literally make them set things off. I think that's what you was talking about, Ricardo, right?
correct. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I that was pretty dope. So I did like that one as well. Anybody else? Anybody else can name one?
I liked the Declaration of Trust.
That mastering lawsuits too. Don't forget about that one. That was fire.
Yes, that was my
Oh,
one.
yeah, that was definitely fire. Yeah. And the Chat GTP class.
Oh, I never saw that.
Oh, man, you got to get that.
Breach.
That is
I
awesome.
did
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Breach means exit. That was a great class. I enjoyed doing that one about breach of contract. Yeah,
That was dope.
that was an actual
Mhm.
great one. The constitutional contract, that was great. We had asset protection. We had Mastering the Money Judgment, The Power to Set Off Debt, Property Law. That was a great one too. Property Law,
Oh,
The
yes.
Credit Denial, The Promised
Oh, man.
Land.
Yes.
We also had the Administrative Contract Process, that one. The Security Agreement Enforcement. We also had Equity in Contract, The Truth About Child Support, Mastering Appeals. That was a good one. Certificated Security in Court as well. So that's the one you spoke on, Dr. Phelps.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've touched a lot. And then the last we had the Living Jurisdiction and the Two-Faced Citizen ebook as well. That was great. The Two-Faced Citizen.
That cleared a lot up too. Yeah.
Yeah, that touched a lot on behalf of myself, just even putting that together and showing everybody that as well. But this is what I'm thinking about doing, right? All right, so as you can see, this is, let me go all the way down. Let's see. Right now I got 340 something pages. 340 pages right now, full of information. And it's everything. And I'm not done. And look, you can just imagine. I'm on, that was what, chapter 12? What was the last chapter? 13, 12, something like that. But anyway, I got so much more that I'm going to put into this, just a little bit, but I want to do a full course. So that's what I want to do. Like take a whole subject of something and literally make it a full course. And we just go through certain courses instead of jumping from one to this to that. So that's why I say it's not going to, season 7 to be different. It'll be like a full course of what we're going to do. Everyone will still have the opportunity to still be here and be present, but I just want to make it also to those who really want the actual documentation to see, etc. Like, we'll make a VIP section for you guys to be able to do that, but there's going to be a full course. Now, all ears are welcome. Y'all welcome to listen, etc. But, I just got to make sure that I do those who do the gold membership, VIP and stuff like that. I got to make sure I keep them on a VIP, because, VIP means like, hey, I'm the only one to get this. So that got to be a feeling. And I don't feel like I kind of made y'all feel like that this time around, but we going to do it. We really got everybody else to, get into it and just know that season 6 was, it was a gift and other people was able to see, but we wanted to allow others outside as well to be able to experience this and what we are doing. But the trust administration class, guys, July the 26th. Everybody that took the actual declaration of trust class, if you can, cool. If you can't, I understand. But you definitely need to be on this class, because we're going to show you literally how to administrate the trust. And a lot of people don't administrate it. So we're going to be at Fort Walton Beach, July the 26th. That's in and around Destin, Florida. So if you're familiar with that area, a few hours away from the area, hour, 30 minutes, I don't care if you live there. Come through, come holler at us. If you can't make it, get on the live stream, okay? Get on the live stream of this. And yes, it comes with an ebook, everything like that. So you guys, did y'all like the ebooks this season? How was the ebooks to you guys?
Yeah, I love ebooks, bro.
I
They're
think
fire.
it made it easier for me, because instead of me sending you 15 documents and, it's a pile of them, you got everything all in an ebook, and it comes with, the templates, everything, and it's full explaining. I think this season I tried to make sure everything was according, like step by step. Did y'all feel like that, or how did y'all feel with that? Was it a step by step?
Yes. So easy to understand and follow. You're brilliant.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that
I agree with that.
it continue to flows in that way, because now hey, I do this, I do this, I do this. Step A, 1, 2, 3, ABC, and so on. And that way you know exactly what you're looking for and what you're trying to get from doing what you're doing. All right. So you can go to InGodWeTrustAcademy.com. All right. In God We Trust Academy.com and look up Trust Administration. And like I say, live stream 200 and in person is 250. I can name numerous of reasons why you should know how to do trust administration. If you have a trust and you don't know anything about it, how to operate it, listen. Everything I'm gonna do and give you here, and it's 2 other classes coming with this. The asset protection class coming with this, and I'm also putting a private administration class into this, which is a lot. Y'all remember the private administration class?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm adding
Yes.
these 2 to this as well because it helps you to move better. It gives you a better understanding on how to get the remedy that you're seeking. All right. So that class is definitely going to be lit. The 25th is the last day for the live stream, and the 23rd is the last day for the in-person. So, yeah, man. But if you can, y'all come on out there and enjoy the beach and stuff, man. I'm gonna be there for about 5 days, enjoying the beach and just family. A lot of my family gonna be around as well. So it was really a trip for us. And I was just like, hey, man, if I'm gonna take a trip, I might as well just do a class while I'm at it. And hey, those who want to come. If you can make it, if you can't, understood. But if not, let's do this, and I'll catch you guys on the live stream. Now, the Hidden Ledger class is literally, I think, 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks after. It's August the 9th. All right? This class is very special. This class was asked for me to do this in Houston. For those of you that did ask for this to be done in Houston, it is being done in Houston, and it's literally about making money. I mean, that's really what I can say. So if you like money, you know how to make money, and this is literally an easy $1,000 class, or really, I'm gonna say more than that. I always say $1,000. This is about a $5,000 class, easily, for sure. I myself would pay it from a certain individual that teaches it. I know they teach it, and I've actually, I like the way they speak on it as well. And they did a great. But their course is literally about $6,000. And I just know people don't have that type of money to pay for that particular course from this individual. So can't be 200, can't be 250. And yes, you will make money. You will learn a new side of the bank that you get to operate on and use with the bank to be able to receive your remedy. Because again, they do fractional reserve banking. So that literally means that anything that you deposit times 10. So if you put $100 in, then they can make $1,000. If you put $10,000 in, they can make 100,000. Right? So that's 100,000 that's made. So that's 90 grand. Right? We're looking at 90 grand. Where is this 90 grand going? Either a great percentage of that 90 grand can come to you, all of it can come to you type stuff, or you can do like you've been doing every year, receiving 15 cents, 25 cents. Who just got, matter of fact, y'all just went through, well, we 7 months in now. Dang, it seemed like January was just a couple months ago. But if you go back and look at your bank, how much money did the bank put in your account this year? Was it like, what, 20 cents, 30 cents?
27 cents.
They put 27 cents, right? Now, do you know why they put 27 cents in there?
Yeah, the interest that I
And the dividends.
claimed or I made.
To give you your piece of the pie.
To give you your piece of the pie, right? 27 cents. So out of that 20, let's just say out of all that money you done placed in or been sitting in that bank account, and they only gave you 27 cents, and they probably made about a good $9,000-$10,000 off you. You see what I'm saying? And you think 27 cents is it? No. So there's ways to get what's your equitable right to have. You just got to make sure that you assert it, apply it in the form that I'm going to show you, and be able to receive. That's what matters the most. Somebody said, if I miss court twice, how could I get the warrant quashed? Motion to quash. I agreed to take a class, but you got to have a good reason why you want the warrant quashed and why you missed. So do a motion to quash based upon whatever your reason is. And preferably, I hope it's a religious reason. Because if you make it a religious reasons, they can't deny you anyway, because you had to go take care of religious duties, and they cannot create any laws that is going to prohibit the exercise of your religion. So if you had some religious duties to take care of and attend to, then you need to make sure that you can show proof of those religious duties from your spiritual advisor, who may that be. But whoever that may be, they could literally write that those spiritual activities took place on those particular days, and they can write it out as a form of affidavit if you like, just sign it, and literally being able to place into evidence along with the motion of quash, and that will help get rid of your warrant for missing court. Does that help you? Did that help anybody else in here?
Yes, because I got a warrant.
I got it.
They denied it twice. I don't think I use regional things, just anxiety, and my grandma's got cancer. It's serious. They're not going to care about anybody outside of you. They only care about you. And if you tried it twice and you place other things, then it's going to make it look like what you did was, yeah. So probably should have been the first thing you did. So now the only thing that I can think of you doing is go take care of it. Don't run from it. Always. What's the number one thing to do, guys, when they ask for, when they say that you have a warrant for your arrest? What must you do?
Ask for it.
Request it.
Present it. Yeah.
Tell them to
Yep.
produce the document.
Always, always, no matter what you do, I want you to look dead in that camera on their chest and say, hey, do you have the warrant present here on the scene? I would like to see that right now. And you can even just say, this is part of due process of law. I would like to request the warrant here to be on the scene so that I may see that the warrant is valid. Right? Yeah. Now, if they don't show the warrant and they take you into jail, well, what do we have here, family?
Kidnapping.
Which we
Violation
call
of
it,
due
call it something
process.
else.
Violation of due process.
It is violation of due process, but what would you call it?
Unlawful restraint.
Which is called
False imprisonment.
false imprisonment.
False imprisonment.
Exactly. It's false imprisonment, right? Any form, and this is what I hate to say. People will sit there with the handcuffs on and be like, am I under arrest? Yeah, you arrested, bro. You're not under arrest just because they said you under arrest. You were under any form of, you were under a detainment and under arrest when they put the cuffs on you, regardless. It's a form of imprisonment. Now we just have to determine, is the imprisonment false? Right? That's it. That's what we have to determine. Anybody got any more questions? What's up?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Now, I do have a warrant. The warrant is for I was supposed to pay some fines for my child. During the COVID thing, she missed school and they did an online thing for so long, but they was counting her absent, but they end up like putting a court date out for me saying, she missed school, and I had to come up with some money to for these fees or whatever for her missing school. But anyway, I didn't pay the fees. They put a warrant out for me. They claim it's a warrant out.
They put a
So
warrant out for you for not paying the fees?
yeah, because
So that's
I
saying,
went to court.
I'm just saying, I just want you to know what is going on. So what they're trying to say is that you are in contempt of court. Now keep going.
Yeah, so I went to court or whatever, and basically before I knew any of this, I did like cop out to paying the fees. It was like 300 whatever dollars. But I forgot about it,
Yeah,
time
but
went
don't
on
tell them that.
and they,
We ain't forget nothing. We just didn't have the ability to pay.
okay. But yeah, so they put a warrant out for me. They claim it's a warrant, and
So
I
you
don't know.
need
I
to
just went
do.
down there.
Yeah, what I would
Mhm.
do is a motion to quash, and then in that motion to quash, I would literally explain how that they would need to prove willful intent of you saying that you wasn't going to pay or you're not going to pay when you didn't have the ability to pay.
Motion of quash.
Yep, motion to
Okay.
quash.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you didn't have the ability to pay. See, not having the ability to pay, they can't place you into jail for they can't put you in debt for. I mean, put you in prison for debt. They can't do that. They can't do that to you. So that's why you don't want to say, "Oh, I forgot." No, that's still contempt of court. You need to say, "I just didn't have the ability to pay."
Okay, got
See what
it.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yes. So,
Thank you.
and if you want to, you can even add the money order to it of whatever you were supposed to pay, and just send it in with it, just to show in good faith.
Okay, got
Now,
it. Thank you.
I got a ticket today for use of license plates with intent to conceal. Claim my trust registration and tags were fake. See, listen to what they said. You got a ticket today for use of license plates with intent to conceal. Conceal what? See, everything that they're trying to charge you with has to be in full alignment of what they're saying. So they got to prove willful intent of you trying to conceal. Conceal what is what I'm asking. They claim that your trust registration and tags were fake. So how are they fake when the trust is what issued the registration and or the tag for the car? They can't determine it's fake. So now you need to learn how to make them prove that your tags are fake. It would be a fake tag if you had a tag of the state and you put it on their tag, like you made a tag that looks like the state and you put it on your car, etc. That would be considered a fake tag. You see what I'm saying? See, you got to make them prove that. See, their words is everything. Everything that they saying, make them prove it. What's a streetwalker charge? You mean jaywalking? Is that what you saying? Like streetwalker? My homegirl has a streetwalker charge. I've never heard of street. I heard jaywalking, but a streetwalker, I ain't never heard of that. What's a streetwalker? Please inform me. Y'all ever heard of streetwalker?
Not at all.
It kind of
Yep.
make it sound like
Yeah,
Prostitution.
I heard a
It
part
sound
Sound
like
like trouble.
prostitution to me.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
downtown Dallas. That's trouble.
it sound like they some like a vampire or something. Look, streetwalker. Like like a I don't know.
I heard a street fighter. I don't know about streetwalkers.
Okay. Now, that's a different the prostitution. So that's a streetwalker. Okay. Well, okay. So the thing is, did they catch her? Did they catch her in the act of selling the kitty? That's the question.
Man, I love the way you think. You are so brilliant. Yeah, because you're right. This goes back to what you were saying earlier. Willful intent.
Yeah,
They gotta
willful
prove
intent.
your
You gotta
willful
prove it.
intent.
Prove I was
You gotta
doing it.
prove that she was trying to harm.
Just because she was walking in a very appealing outfit down the street doesn't mean she was selling it.
That's right. That's right. That's that presumption that they use, right? That word they use, presumption. They presume the worst about us when we innocent till proven guilty.
Now, if they got an undercover agent who's attempting to buy it, we can get him in trouble because, like, what you trying to do? You need to prove that you was, was you really trying to buy it or was you doing it for the business? Can you prove it? Can you prove you didn't want the kitty? That you was operating up under a form of some type of police official business, or was you really trying to buy the kitty? Can you prove it?
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
for real.
when she rejected him, that's when he turned on her and said he's going to arrest her. Mm-hmm.
That could be true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He set her up
Streetwalker.
then.
So that's what they call prostitution now. Streetwalkers.
It's payback. It's payback.
I did not know that. Streetwalkers. All right then, streetwalkers. Somebody need
Man, that's too much control.
nah, but seriously though, like it's they still gotta prove willful intent. I've noticed they like, damn, I think you would try to say indecent exposure instead of street walking. But what is it? What is indecent exposure anymore? When you go outside and you see a parade of people butt naked riding down the street on a bike,
Mm-hmm.
does that even like I don't know, man. That's wild.
The entire month of June at that.
The entire month of June. Oh, that is Pride. Is that Pride Month?
Mm-hmm.
That's when they be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lord have mercy, man. I mean, we all take pride in ourselves, but I don't think you got to get naked and go show everybody. But
Gotta have your kids front row.
oh man, the kids be there. But damn, that ought to be a type
They
of
take their kids
Yeah,
down
man,
there.
that
Yes,
ought to
they
be a type
do.
of
It's
child boy night. That
conditioning.
ought to be
Man, that's crazy
It
to take
should
kids to
be.
that.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. That ought to be some type of sexual offense or something.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said
It's
conditioning,
under
man.
the
It's not
guise of
intentional.
putting them on, making them aware and being more tolerant. But no, it's ridiculous. They
Yeah.
go too far. They go too far.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Teach his own, man. But find
But they
some way,
didn't arrest them. They
find
didn't
some way to
arrest
do it
them.
without the kids, man. Do it without the kids, yo. We grown folks. We can handle it, but don't be traumatizing the kids, yo. I remember the first time I was traumatized, boy. We was in Atlanta. I think I was about 14 years old. I seen a dude with a beard, everything, full skirt on. I'm like, what? What's going on here? I don't understand. Like, I started to ask him, like, what you doing? But I just kind of looked and was like, oh, okay. I've never seen that before. Growing up, like, especially if you grew up in the 90s, if you were born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, that was just one of the things that you didn't do.
In the South too.
Yeah, you didn't do that. And then all of a sudden, like, now it's like, boom. It's like one day it's just, we got hit. We just got hit with it. And I think that, like, they didn't like the reaction from the 80s babies and stuff like that. And those who were before is because, bro, you didn't do that. It wasn't something that we seen. And now it's just like, boom, you gotta call me a girl. It's like, nah, bro, come on. Our mind is not adapted to even think in that manner right now with you.
They have it in cartoons too.
It's in everything. But,
Definitely.
I
It's
mean,
crazy, but
like, it's like this for me. Like, it's people, man. People are people. I think people got their own things, but it shouldn't be exploited into a certain type of way. I think that, but what I will say is about what they did, it's good and everything. What they taught me was identity and how you can be whoever you want to be. Whoever you say you are, but you got to know how to act and assert on who you say you are, right? But they taught me a lot about identity and about identifying and the rules that come with that. Like, you do have the right to self-determination, which is really what they was acting off of in the first place. So when it comes to us with the right of self-determination, saying that you're this or you're that or you're not that, that's like I was telling somebody the other day. They was like, man, do they respect your nation? I said, I respect it. That's the main thing that matters because, what do you do when they say, no, you're not that. You're a U.S. citizen. You're this. You're that. That now you're leading me into what you want to say and involuntary servitude. You're trying to literally make me a slave by saying I have to be somebody. I have to say this or no, I can't relinquish citizenship right or anything of that nature. And whatever the case may be is what I'm saying. So, you got to know how to apply that particular law. the treaties or whatever the case may be that may be locked into who and what you are. A lot of people go try to prove, you got to prove it by blood. I don't got to prove nothing by blood. It might be sacred that my blood never be touched or used for any form of laboratory work or anything of that nature, man. You prove, I said who I am. And remember, an affidavit of fact or just your word alone is considered to be evidence. And until somebody can prove you wrong. How they gonna prove you wrong? Anybody? How they gonna prove you wrong?
They can't.
They can't. So that's the reason why the only thing that matters is the fact of you being able to what? Have the fact and being able to prove it. That's it. That you are who you say you are. And they tell you your word is bond. Your word alone is good enough. That's the reason why people are able to make complaints or do anything like that, go under penalty and perjury, under affidavit of fact, etc. And when you do that, you're saying that everything that you're saying is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And it will be considered the truth until you're proven wrong, which is really why if you say that you're innocent, you're not guilty, or whatever the case may be, then that's what it is until you're proven wrong. How do we get to where you're always what now? We went from not guilty to it's presumed that you're guilty. Well, you were under presumption the minute they charged you, right? And y'all know why.
Right.
Y'all know why these prosecutors bring everything. Because now, the prosecutor and the magistrate is supposed to. If y'all watch Law and Order, right? What do they do in Law and Order? They'll literally go to the magistrate or the judge and try to say, you know, hey, this is what we got. This, and that. And they're gonna look at them like, look, that ain't enough evidence, man. That's gonna get thrown out. You bring that shit in my court, I'm throwing that shit out, right? Ain't that what they do? Because they want them to be sure that the prosecutor can prosecute. You don't need to bring anything in here that you know that's going to get this case thrown out. Well, that's how it's supposed to work. But is that how it works in society today? No, it's not. Because in a perfect world of law and order, everybody knows the law, right? You see what I'm saying? But in this particular reality of everything, you don't know. So they don't care. They're going to bring everything into court and hoping that you do take it to just by bringing the charges. So by them bringing the charges is them saying that, yeah, we got you. We got all the evidence to prove it's you. And then when you start going to doing to discovery, you start asking those questions that they didn't think you were going to ask. That's when it all starts falling apart for them. Right then and there. That's how it happens, family. So we just have to make sure that we on ours, we on game with ours, we exercising our rights, asserting our rights, being aware. I'm aware of a new term for prostitution today, streetwalker.
LOL.
I promise I didn't know, man. So I'm glad I ain't finna go out here calling people streetwalkers. What up, streetwalker? You know what I'm saying? And that means you are a prostitute. So, but I didn't know that. But what I will say is everything that happens, they have to prove willful intent. Okay? Willful intent is the most powerful thing with any form of crime or anything like that they're going to try to say or use against you. They have to prove that you willfully intended to cause the harm, break the law, etc. Right? That's it. That is it. Anybody else got anything else they want to say before we get out of here?
Touch on what you're saying there, man. I think I had a run-in with the sheriffs a few days ago. 5 of them here in my driveway, and they kind of wanted me to pretty much admit, I guess, pretty much to what you're saying. Something happened with a neighbor and a pig and a dog, and things transpired. And when they came here 5 deep, their thing was, "Oh, we're here to investigate." And my thing was kind of like, "Well, I'll just be quiet and let you do that, I guess." But then it went to, "Oh, well, you know, you have to give us your ID." The day that happened, man, I had just moved everything into the trust. So me just kind of letting you know that I'm kind of just the overseer here, you know, and technically you guys are trespassing, but I'm entertaining you now. But once I told the officer, like, pretty much, man, I'm not a 14th Amendment citizen. You know, his thing was high, like, you can try that, you know, down there, I guess. But you really hit it, man, because after that, you touched on, after that happened with me, you touched on false imprisonment. And the thing, we stood out there for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, them trying to get me to admit to or tell them, I guess, my side of the story, which I don't know, whatever you were told, I guess is what you were told. But to think, you know, it's hot, we're sweating, and now after 45 minutes, it's like, well, we can't do anything anyway. We're just here. So what did we just do all that for? But that falls right under that category of false imprisonment. To have me here to try to get me under duress and let me know I got to do this and I got to do that. When I don't, you're just trying to see pretty much what I will allow you to do. I'm guessing, you know. It's just a better understanding of all this now, man. I was so programmed, man. Man, this is eye-opening.
When they come to you, especially in that type of situation, y'all, like, because a lot of them, they be like, oh, we got a suspicion of a crime here, and they said that the individual was black with long hair, about such and such height. All right, cool. They come up to you, and see, here's the thing. They have to prove without a reasonable doubt that it's you. Well, I need to see your identification. First and foremost, before I have to give you any form of identification, are you saying that you saw me in the act of a crime or that I committed a crime? That's it. You can either catch me in the middle of the act about to commit the crime and you stop it, or you know for a fact I committed the crime and you know who I am, full everything. You got enough, right? Because if you don't have enough, you can't prove it. Now, let's say you want to, oh, well, we can take you downtown for questioning. Okay. If you take me downtown for questioning, you better make sure you have the right individual. Because what you're still doing is what? You're detaining. Still holding up my time. It's still a form of imprisonment. There was never any form of warrant or anything like that was given saying that go and bring this individual in because we can question you because the case leads to you being a lead suspect. And they got enough evidence to prove that you are a lead suspect, right? Ain't that? Don't y'all see that on Law and Order? They can't even go confront. They can be thinking it's this person the whole time and everything. But until they got enough information that points this person as a lead suspect, and then only then can they go and, okay, all right, I'll make a warrant out for you to go arrest this individual and bring him in for question, right? Because he's a lead suspect. Then they'll put in all the evidence of what they think they got. Then this individual start talking, and then they get an alibi. Then boom, it's gone. So now what really happens is what we got going, because that individual was just falsely accused and claimed of something, and then was just let go. That's false imprisonment, right?
Lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
But most of us will let it go and act like it ain't nothing. They just took me down for questioning, thought I was a suspect or something, and just let me go. Bro, they arrested you. That's what they did. They can't just take up your time and stop your liberty like that. Liberty is very important. Just so we know. What's up, Ja? You the last one, then we finna get out of here. Ja Lion, you're up. Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out a little bit more information on the failure to due process. I did a motion to disqualify a judge. She basically a county judge trying to do civil, like, equity. Like she went and opened up another case number and then assign herself to while I did an injunction and I did a motion to abate the same day. So what she did was just, trying to merge the case so she could continue to be the judge, but like she not doing it right. Like she not doing the equity part right. She basically don't know nothing about equity, man. So I did a motion to disqualify her for a lot of reasons, as far as like her just ruling on stuff that don't even make sense with no explanation, no nothing. Asking her to clarify it, vacating her orders, striking her orders, all type of stuff like that. I actually got the chief involved as well for judicial reassignment. But she got this case coming up for my motion to dismiss, but I don't want her to be on a motion to dismiss. This hearing coming up on the 8th. So I
See,
did a
so what you would want to do is this. I can just tell you right now. Remember
yeah,
us doing the master and appeal class?
yeah, I got that.
Okay, you remember in the master appeal class how if someone's causing harm to you or damages in a setting, how you can go above to the higher court and demand that what you want to stop the harm or whatever the case may be, and then it'll trickle on down to the lower case, to the
Oh,
lower
okay,
court.
so yeah, well, where I'm at right now, I'm exhausting all remedies, and then I was trying to go for that.
Nah,
Damn,
you don't
what you
have to
call
wait
it?
on that though. That is a part of a remedy that you can do immediately. If they causing you harm, then you got the
Right.
right to go. Right?
Uh, yeah.
You have the right to go. So
Oh,
I think I'm finna look in this master appeal. Let me see if I can find it. Appeal process. Give the judge chance to correct the error. I can understand that part. Um, motions for rehearing, motion for a new trial. Let's see.
you know what? I ain't even got this one. I got like 8 other classes, but I ain't got this one. I just realized that.
See if I can find it right quick. I'm gonna tell you what I'm saying. Because you can literally do these type of things, and we went over these things as well when there's certain things that's going on, or what has taken place.
I didn't catch it. What's the name of this class? The
This
one
is
you
the
on right
master and appeal class we did in season 6.
now? Got it.
I think we did this like maybe the first or second week. All right.
So forget waiting on the chief judge right now, huh? Because like I
I
already
mean,
put
you
the, they
can you
take their
can say
time.
whatever
They're
to
gonna
the chief judge or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's still about being able to go, because the appellate
right.
court reviews the lower court's record like a replay, so they do not allow you to create new plays after the game. It's over. So that's one thing. That's not what I'm looking for though. Motion to reconsider, motion for rehearing. It's the writs part. Know your playing field before you serve. Know what the court can do. So affirmance, see the type of appellate decisions. You can get reversal, remand. A writ of certiorari, interlocutory appeal means between the words or interrupting speech. It is illegal interrupting. You're asking the appellate court to step in before the final judgment is made. There you go. So an interlocutory appeal, something of that nature, before they can make a final judgment. Also, that it says the trial court proceedings will be paused. The appellate court reviews the issue at hand, and the appellate court decides if correction is necessary before the case proceeds. So an interlocutory
Interlocutor.
appeal, and then also a writ of certiorari is like, let's see. This can be done for a lot of different things too, though. So Let's see. It says a client will
What about
swing
the writ of prohibition? What prohibition? I say writ of prohibition.
prohibition to prohibit something as well from happening or taking place. Yeah, you can do that, but that's like a you can do an injunction in a higher court to prevent something from happening. So you can do a writ of injunction, but the interlocutory appeals, they protect your rights early, prevent the trial errors from becoming irreversible, and demonstrate diligence and build a strong appellate record. Shows the appellate court you act in a good faith to correct errors promptly. That's something that you want to do. So if the judge is absolutely stepping outside, you can literally go to and have that done. So,
Writ of interlock. Yeah.
which is like certiorari
Interlocutory.
yeah, and but an injunction can do the same thing too if you want to step in. So you don't have to sit there and get hurt, is what I'm saying. You can go to the appellate court to help manage the lower court, if that makes sense.
Right. I just thought I had to exhaust all remedies before I go to them. Like that's I
Nah,
think I heard that.
that's if you're going for the full appeal. What we're doing is you want to stop what's happening, right?
Oh,
Before
I
it
got
happens.
you.
Like you want to make sure that because the damage could be so bad, right? Here go the prohibition. It stops a lower court or governing official from acting beyond their authority. So you can do that. If a judge or a lower tribunal is about to do something they have no lawful authority to do, you can seek a writ of prohibition. So there you go.
Right, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So examples is trial court moving forward in a case where it lacks jurisdiction, judge refusing to recuse themselves when biased, lower court about to violate double jeopardy rights, and case being pursued when the statute of limitations has expired. So that's when you can do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at first. Yeah.
So that's great.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna think I was waiting on the chief to answer something or trying to, exhaust all remedies, but you saying it's not because the whole case not done or nothing like that, so I ain't
Yeah,
doing
you
like a
can
full
go and prevent that injury, is what I'm saying. You don't have
I
to.
got you.
Everybody pay attention to this. The appellate court can stop things that's happening within the court that you're in right now from happening to you. It can protect you. You have the right to exercise that right. That's why the Master and Appeal class, we actually did that class after the Master in Lawsuits and then Defend and Conquer because I knew people was going to need that as well. But that's also a powerful class. The ebook is about $50. So if you don't want the whole entire class, the ebook got everything in it, the documents and templates and stuff like that in it as well, so that you know exactly what to do and how to do. But yeah, great information in that.
I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, Eric, can I make one comment on the writ of prohibition?
Yeah, go ahead.
That actually, I've never done one of that, but if they violate one of your unalienable rights, like if the court had lost jurisdiction, on a motion or such, that's an effective way to do it, because basically if they violated one of your unalienable rights, right, they haven't proved subject matter jurisdiction, people bring a motion, they'll deny it. A writ of prohibition, instead of waiting until the end of the case, it could be 6 months, whenever it goes to trial, you may want to look at writ of prohibition, because you'll generally get a hearing. I think it's pretty quickly, like 3 to 5 days, because basically everything stops. And if the court has lost jurisdiction because they violate one of your protected rights, then you don't want the whole case to go on. So it's a good way to take a quick bite at the apple and maybe knock it out early instead of having to wait 6 months or 9 months and such. So it's just a point.
Appreciate it.
Totally agree. And always on point. So I appreciate you for that. Always on point. It's been great though. Guys, get ready for season 7. We are going to do, I've already decided, I just have to finish getting in my mind how we're going to do it. So we're going to chill for 2 weeks, and then we'll be opening back up before we get ready for the trust administration class. Now, just because I said we're going to chill don't mean y'all ain't going to see my face, because I'm going to be on here at least 3 times a day for the most part that I'm available to do so. So y'all going to see me in the rising, y'all going to see me in the noon and the evening. All right? So a lot to talk about. any other ideas that you guys got as well. But I want to be able to this time is certain special days, one day out of the month, we'll be taking the individual specific case type thing and just helping and doing those things this time. So I want to implement that as well. But you know, you do have to sign certain things to let you know that hey, we ain't responsible and this is not legal advice. All right. And that's just to protect myself and others as well. And because a lot of people will take what you do. I've done stuff for people and people don't do shit with it, or they take it and then they go mix it up with everything else somebody else told them. And then they get mad at me because, well, I use their process first and then now I'm gonna use yours. And it's like, yeah, all right, we'll holler at you. Don't get mad at me. It's not my fault. Right? So come to class, guys. I'm gonna be here again in the rising. So if I get done working out and everything like that, so by at least by 9:30, 10 some Central Time, y'all will be seeing my face. Y'all have a great and beautiful night. It's been nothing but real with you guys. If y'all had to rate season 6, what would you rate it?
Infinity.
Infinity.
Great.
Infinity and
Great.
beyond.
Always.
Absolutely.
It was so good you can't even rate it.
I like that. I like that.
Got it. She got it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And just by y'all having this talk, y'all inspired season 7 to come because it was about to go to a crash landing. So just know y'all inspired it a little bit tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. I just got to figure out and get into how I actually want to do it. You know, it's an Aquarius thing. Like we get tired of things sometimes, and we have to tweak it or do something a little different to keep myself interested as well.
Switch it up.
Can't wait.
What about that real ID people get caught up with?
What about Real ID?
Yeah, I just been hearing about that.
I mean, do not be. It's nothing that the government offer that could ever take away your rights. Anybody. It's nothing that the government ever create in legislative law that could ever take your right. The only thing is, as was said, is that you choose not to act upon it. You have to assert it. If something that they're doing violates a right, then you have to assert it that this particular statute, et cetera, causes you harm and it violates a right that is afforded to you and protected by the Constitution. Simple. And assert it. You know what I mean? And when there's a conflict of interest between the actual state constitution, the U.S. Constitution, and the actual statutory law, then the Constitution will always prevail. That's a fact.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to just say that, like, it's nothing that you guys having a driver's license. There's nothing wrong with that. You just need to know the difference. Having a tag on your car, it ain't even nothing wrong with that. If you know that you operate in a commercial point, you do Uber, you do all of that stuff, that's cool. But when you get off work, you're in a private capacity traveling on the what, family?
Soil.
Land.
Land.
On the
Travel
land.
We travel on land. We do business on the highway, but we travel on land. There is privileges and regulations to travel on the highway. There is no privileges or regulations to travel on. I meant to drive on the highway, but there's none to travel on the land. So do remember that. Two different total things. Well, I appreciate you, Gigi. We hope to see you, and I'm glad that you learned a lot. And to those of you that continue to follow with us. You can also go on YouTube to In God We Trust Academy, so you can see all of the previous videos that we have done. Also, there will be certain videos that I continue to open back up on from season 6 on our YouTube channel as well while we're down. So y'all got 2 weeks to go back, look at those as well. And yeah. Or like I said, it's going to be a VIP group that can always have access to them, to where y'all can just constantly look at them as much as you want, especially if you subscribe to our channel. All right, so with that being said, man, it's been great. And we've been on here almost 3 hours today. So y'all have a great and beautiful day. Hope this was worth it to you guys. And I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
Hey,
you.
you.
appreciate
Thank you,
you.
man.
And
Enjoy your 2
God
weeks.
bless you, brother.
Blessings, Eric and Nikki. Blessings.